Look at your hand right now. Hold it up against the light source. It looks solid, doesn't it? It looks permanent. You see skin, bone, and blood. You assume that your hand exists continuously in time, from this second to the next, without interruption. But this assumption is the single greatest illusion governing your life. What if I told you that for 50% of your existence, that hand is not there? What if I told you that you are blinking in and out of reality like a faulty neon sign? Itzhak Bentov, the brilliant engineer and mystic who stalked the wild pendulum of consciousness, uncovered a terrifying secret about the mechanics of our reality. He proposed that the universe is not a continuous flow, but a rapid-fire sequence of on and off pulses. You are flashing into existence and disappearing back into the void roughly 14 times every second. But because your brain is wired to deceive you, you never see the darkness. You never feel the void. You are trapped in the on phase, completely blind to the fact that half the time, you are essentially a ghost. Now imagine if you could stop the film. Imagine if you could wake up during the darkness between the frames. Bentov believed that in those microseconds of non-existence, you are not dead. You are everywhere. This is the secret of the stroboscopic universe. And today, we are going to slow down the reel. We are going to find the gap in the matrix where your consciousness actually lives. Before we unlock the first seal, if you are one of the 2% who sense the glitch in the matrix, please click subscribe and ring the bell. Join the journey to decode the ancient wisdom for modern awakening. To understand how you are being tricked, we must first look at the mechanism of your own perception. Consider a child spinning a burning stick in the dark. If they spin it fast enough, you don't see a moving point of fire. You see a solid, continuous circle of light. This is called persistence of vision. Your eye retains an image for a fraction of a second after the object has moved, and your brain stitches these snapshots together to create the illusion of continuity. Cinema works on this exact principle. A movie is nothing more than 24 still photographs projected onto a screen every second. Between every picture, there is a moment of total darkness as the shutter closes to move the film forward. If you watch a 2-hour movie, you spend a significant portion of that time sitting in pitch blackness, but you don't see the blackness. Your brain ignores the dark and fuses the light. You get caught in the story, forgetting that the motion is a lie. Bentov argued that our physical reality operates like that movie projector. We are vibrating. Matter is not solid. It is energy vibrating at specific frequencies. And anything that vibrates has a rhythm. It swings up and it swings down. It turns on and it turns off. Science tells us that atoms are 99.999% empty space, but Bentov went further. He suggested that our consciousness pulses at a rate of about 14 cycles per second. We represent a standing wave that is constantly collapsing and reforming. Consider this. If your consciousness is flashing 14 times a second, that means there are 14 moments every second where your sensory input is cut off. 14 moments where you are not receiving data from the physical world. Where are you during those gaps? If the projector of the universe shuts off the light, does the character on the screen cease to exist? Or does the character simply return to the mind of the scriptwriter? This is the persistence of vision trap. We are so focused on the illuminated frames of our physical life that we miss the infinite ocean of potential that lies in the darkness between them. To decode this mystery, Itzhak Bentov gave us a simple, elegant metaphor, the pendulum. This was the centerpiece of his seminal work, Stalking the Wild Pendulum. Picture a grandfather clock. The pendulum swings rhythmically back and forth. But let's look closer at the physics of this movement. As the pendulum sweeps across the bottom of its arc, it is moving at its maximum speed. It has high kinetic energy. It is fully manifested in the world of motion. Now watch what happens as it climbs to the top of its swing. It slows down, decelerates, and for an infinitesimal moment at the very peak of the arc, its velocity drops to 0. It stops completely before it changes direction and swings back. Bentov asked the forbidden question. In that moment where velocity is 0 and time effectively stops for that object, where is the pendulum? According to Heisenberg's uncertainty principle in quantum mechanics, you cannot know both the momentum and the position of a particle with absolute precision. If you know the momentum is 0 because it has stopped, the position becomes infinite. Bentov extrapolated this to consciousness. He theorized that at that still point, that moment of 0 velocity, the pendulum is no longer located in a specific point in space. It spreads out. It becomes omnipresent. This is the blink, the off phase. In our reality, we are like that pendulum. We rush through our lives with high velocity, obsessed with doing, moving, and achieving. We are stuck in the kinetic phase. But 14 times a second, our biological system hits that turnaround point. We hit the 0 point. For a split second, our boundaries dissolve and our consciousness expands to fill the universe. But because it happens so fast and because we are addicted to the motion, we miss the expansion. We miss the moment we become God. Thoth's emerald tablets speak of this too, but in the language of alchemy. The silence is not empty, it is full. The void is not nothing, it is everything unmanifested. Bentov provided the physics for Thoth's prophecy. He showed us that we are not continuous beings, we are pulsars. And the reason we feel trapped in the matrix is that we only identify with the particle when it is moving, never when it is everywhere at once. We are ignoring half of our own nature.
Before we step into the void to see what lies on the other side of that blink, take a microsecond to anchor yourself in this reality. If you are seeking the blueprints to navigate these hidden mechanics, make sure you are subscribed to our channel. We are decoding the files that others want to keep buried. Click the button now. Don't let the signal fade. So the question remains, when your consciousness blinks off 14 times a second, where do you go? You don't just vanish. Bentov theorized that you return to the absolute. Think of the ocean. The surface is full of waves. That is our physical reality. Constantly moving, crashing, and changing. That is the on phase. But beneath the waves lies the deep, still water, the off phase. It is the source of the waves, but it remains unmoved by them. Every time you enter the off phase, the stillness between the pendulum swings, you are dipping into this infinite reservoir of information. You are effectively checking in with the universal mainframe. you upload your experiences and download updated reality codes. This happens so fast that your conscious mind cannot register it. However, Bentov suggested that this is the mechanism of intuition. That gut feeling or sudden stroke of genius, that is you bringing back a piece of the absolute from the void. We actually spend a third of our lives practicing for this. Deep sleep is a prolonged entry into the void, where the blink slows down and stretches out. But in sleep, we are unconscious. The goal of the mystic, the aim of the Hermetic initiate, is to enter that void consciously. When you meditate, you are slowing down the brain waves. You are trying to widen the gap between the pulses. If you can extend that split second of silence into a minute or an hour, you are no longer a visitor in the absolute. You become the absolute. This is why the CIA classified Bentov's work alongside the gateway process. They realized that if a human being can consciously control this phase shifting, they are no longer bound by space or time. In the off state, because you are everywhere at once, remote viewing becomes simple physics. Telepathy becomes a standard operating system. You are not sending a signal across space. You are simply accessing the point where you and the other person are the same entity. But here lies the danger. And this is the warning that Itzhak Bentov tried to give the world before his death. The Western mind is obsessed with more power, more consciousness, faster awakening. We want to force the pendulum to stop. We want to pry open the doors of perception with brute force. But Bentov discovered that the human body is a biological capacitor. It is wired to handle a specific voltage of consciousness. This brings us to the physio-kundalini syndrome. In spiritual circles, rising kundalini is celebrated as the ultimate goal. But in Bentov's laboratory, he saw it as a high-voltage discharge running through a low-voltage wire. When you force your nervous system to stay in the off phase too long, without preparation, through aggressive breathwork, psychedelics, or forced meditation, you are essentially plugging a 110-volt appliance into a high-tension power line. The results can be catastrophic. Bentov documented cases where people experience spontaneous combustion of internal tissues, uncontrollable shaking, paralysis, and a sound like ticking inside the skull. This isn't mystical punishment, it's physics. The return signal from the absolute is pure, high-frequency energy. If your nervous system, your physical wiring, has not been upgraded to conduct that current, it will fry the circuit. The watchers or the guardians of these thresholds are not demons, they are biological safety valves. The reason you cannot see the other dimensions yet is because your body is protecting you. The veil is a surge protector. Toth's warning in the tablets about those who open the gate before they are ready parallels Bentov's scientific findings perfectly. To access the stroboscopic void, you must first build a vessel strong enough to withstand the pressure of the infinite.
So how do we access this still point without burning out our biological wiring? How do we synchronize with the universal blink safely? The answer lies in resonance, not force. You don't need to stop the pendulum of your life. You just need to match its rhythm. Bentov discovered that our bodies have a natural micromotion, a tiny rhythmic vibration caused by the pumping of the heart. When we are stressed, this rhythm is chaotic, but when we are calm, it becomes a coherent wave. The key is the breath. Ancient pranayama and hermetic breathing techniques were not just about oxygen, they were about timing. Try this. Focus not on the inhale nor the exhale, but on the pause between them, the gap, that split second where your lungs are neither full nor empty. That physiological pause is your body's version of the pendulum's stop. By consciously extending that pause, gently, without strain, you align your biological blink with the cosmic blink. You are training your nervous system to tolerate the off phase. It is like slowly increasing the voltage on a dimmer switch rather than flipping a master breaker. When you meditate, you're essentially widening the aperture of the camera, allowing more light from the absolute to imprint upon your film before the shutter closes again.
This brings us back to the ultimate secret, the holographic universe. If we are blinking in and out of existence, it means we are being constantly recreated. 14 times a second, your reality is destroyed, and 14 times a second, it is rebuilt. This is the mechanism of the hologram. You are not a solid sculpture carved in stone. You are a standing wave pattern that is being refreshed, updated, and projected from the source. This is why karma or destiny can be changed. You are not stuck with the old film reel. In that off phase, in that void of potential, you have the power to alter the pattern before it manifests again in the on phase. Toth taught that all is mind. Bentov showed us the engineering of that mind. We are living in a conscious feedback loop. The universe reads your vibration during the blink and projects your physical reality to match it during the flash.
So, look at your hand again. It is not solid, it is a miracle of rhythm. You are a symphony of light and silence, playing at a speed so fast that you fool yourself into thinking you are mortal. Do not fear the void. Do not fear the moments of silence in your life. That is not emptiness. That is where you are real. That is where you are infinite. The next time you blink your eyes, remember, the universe is blinking with you. The question is, what will you choose to see when you open them again? This is merely the first layer of the illusion. To understand how to program the hologram itself, you need the next key. Click here to watch our deep dive into the holographic universe and discover the code behind the curtain. I'll see you in the void.